These hidden cars in the Simpsons Hit and Run are not only great secrets in an already wonderful game, but they're all fantastic references to the show we all know and love. Let's go through each of the 7 hidden cars, how to find them, and explain exactly what they're referencing from the show itself. Level 1 of the Simpsons Hit and Run has the player take control of Homer Simpson around the more familiar locations, such as Evergreen Terrace, the school, the power plant, and of course the Quickie Mart. Now if you haven't played the game before, go do it now. Please, it's so good. But for the uninitiated, each level of the game contains a set of 7 missions, a bonus mission, 3 races, 7 collector cards, 20 wasp cameras, a handful of gags, 3 costumes, and 5 obtainable vehicles. It's a really run-of-the-mill level design in theory. By the end, you enter the final level and you know exactly what order you want to do everything in because you've done it before. It's simple, but it never gets old. However, I mentioned 5 obtainable cars. This is because you get one for existing in the game. So in level 1, it is the pink family sedan. You can buy 2 from Old Gil, there's always one other vendor, usually selling a car you need for a mission. And there's a bonus mission that awards you with a special character's car. In level 1, this car is Cletus's after you do a mission for him. Anyway, in each level there is a hidden car you can find in the world that you can't keep. You can drive it, but it'll never be available in a phone booth unless you have cheats, and once you destroy it, that is it. It won't respawn, unless you have cheats. Typically these cars aren't actually much good and you wouldn't want to use them in missions. I mean, some of them maybe, but mostly they're just fun references to episodes of the show itself. And you know, cars with messed up physics, it's fun to play around with. So now everyone's all caught up or had their memories jogged. What is the hidden car in level 1 of the Simpsons Hit and Run? Well, if you go from the Simpsons house past the Quickie Mart and the school, you reach a sort of built up neighbourhood near Mr. Burns' mansion. Along the road here is a little lay-by with a rocket car parked in it. Simple. That is this level's hidden car. But what is it exactly? Well, in the episode The Day the Violence Died, Chester Lampwick, the original creator of Itchy from the Itchy and Scratchy cartoons, sues Disney, I mean Itchy and Scratchy Studios, for a lot of money because they stole his Itchy idea and reused it as their own, leaving him homeless. Well, after he wins a staggering amount of cash and buys a mansion, we see a nice blue and white rocket car sitting outside of his gate. So, much like the morally corrupt media studio that steals comic book writers' work and doesn't pay them properly, Homer steals his car in the game. Level 2 takes the player to downtown Springfield with landmarks such as the highway. To be honest, when you think of the Simpsons locations, typically none of the more popular ones are found in this level. Even level 3 has more iconic locations. That, however, does not mean that this level is not great. It has large open areas, various buildings to crash into, great hidden secrets, and some wonderful missions. Having long areas of highway was actually a good call. In some missions it can be a pain, but it does make for some fun races. Anyway, driving around and generally being a public menace, you might come across the monorail area. Now if you don't, you should, for a couple of reasons. There is a lot of money here, both from boxes and wasp cameras, so you should go there and get all the money and buy all the cars. But also, and way more interestingly, you will find a drivable monorail. That's our hidden car from this level. But again, what does that mean in relation to the show itself? Well, the episode Marge vs. the Monorail contains, would you believe, a monorail. Written by the legendary Conan O'Brien, which is still insane to me, but it just makes me love him even more. This critically acclaimed episode follows the Springfield citizens as they essentially get scammed into making a god-awful monorail for absolutely no reason at all. Well, so that someone can make money off of them. Well, this damaged and pretty awful vehicle in the game is what's left of that following the episode. It's not a good car at all. It's very sluggish and not usable in any real sense, but still, an artifact written by Conan of all people is awesome to see, and for that reason it is my favourite of the hidden car references. Not my favourite to drive, obviously. If you're still here, you must either be a fan of the Simpsons Hit and Run, or you're just enjoying my videos. Either way, I've got lots more coming, both about The Simpsons and other games, like Rayman. So I'd love it if you subscribe to stick around and help me get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you. Now back to the video. Level 3 now follows Lisa in the more relaxed beachside locations of Springfield. I'm talking Squidport, the Springfield sign, the observatory, great locations. This is my personal favourite level design in the game. It's just always fun to drive around in and makes for some great missions and races just because of the layout. I also love the music. Anyway, while driving around as an 8-year-old running over old people, you might find yourself on the Sea Spanker boat. I mean, you definitely will. The game requires you to get on the boat in order to finish it. But if you go exploring on the boat outside of the mission, you will once again find a lot of money, some wasps, a gag and a card, so you should absolutely do it. Anyway, on said boat, if you climb up some of the storage containers, or crates, whatever you want to call them, you will find the night boat inside. It's a boat, with wheels, and like before, it is from an episode of the show. In the episode, And Maggie Makes 3, the Simpsons briefly watch a show called Night Boat, which is almost definitely a parody of Knight Rider. In this show within a show, you can see a protagonist driving a car boat thing called the Night Boat. That's really all there is to it. Level 4 brings us back to the same world map as Level 1, except now it's a bit darker. You're Marge, and there's the addition of Mr. Burns' mansion, which was previously inaccessible. It's a good location, not a lot to do there, it's fun to explore though, as is the whole game, really. One thing I love about Hit and Run is that when they reuse maps, they do shake them up a little bit. Wasps, gags, cards, they're all hidden in different places. Some of them are the same, of course, but it makes it more interesting when you find a wasp missing from a place you found it last time, because now it's been moved and you have to look for it again. The races are also different, and the general cars that drive around are all typically shaken up too, so you won't get bored looking at the same things over and over. It makes each level feel unique despite being the same old map. With this, the hidden cars are also changed between levels, funnily enough. So if you find yourself on the way to the power plant from Evergreen Terrace and you happen to visit the caravan folk, you might just find an ATV sitting comfortably between two caravans. You'll never guess, but this vehicle is actually not a reference to the show. No, as far as I can tell, this ATV has nothing to do with any episode in the show. It's really strange. Of all the various vehicles that have been in The Simpsons up to this point, I think it had been like 15 seasons, 15 years or whatever, you'd think they'd have managed to find another vehicle they could slot into this level. But no, if you look up The Simpsons ATV, you'll find nothing but pictures of the one from this game or a screenshot of an episode from like 2010 or something when they all go into the wild, they go off the grid or something. Obviously I did dig a lot deeper than just a Google image search, but I really couldn't find anything, and that's the easiest way for me to prove it to you. Level 5 takes Apu to the same locations Bart went in a series of excellent missions, races and collectible moments. Wonderful level with some of the best music in the game. This is actually very similar to Bart's level. No new areas have been opened up this time round, just some extra parkour sections for a middle-aged man to conquer. Speaking about conquering difficult tasks, it's not hard to find the hidden car in this level. In fact, it's not really hidden, it is right out in the open. If you go to the area with all the buildings like the town hall, the hospital, the coffee shops, then head to the arena that leads to the fire station. Arena? Stadium? Whatever that thing is. You'll find a big old monster truck sitting on a podium. Easy. And how does this relate to the show? Once again, for some reason, it just doesn't. So many references to the show in this game. There's like 300 or something insane. There's a reference to like 65% of the episodes. But for some reason, this car and the previous are nothing to do with the show. There are episodes that feature monster trucks very occasionally, but this one? Nope. It only exists in The Simpsons Hit and Run. At least as far as I could tell. I did do a lot of digging and I found absolutely nothing, so if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to know if this is actually from the show. It's bizarre though, because this truck has a name, like it's got a specific name on the side, as if it was a reference, almost like branding from an episode where Homer competes with this truck for a company or something. But no, there's absolutely nothing I could find on it, so yeah, very weird. Level 6, my favourite level in the game. Not only is it the best map, in my opinion, but it also has the best default car, the Farini Red. Some of the best music, and of course some awesome missions, races and things to collect. I love it. It's a real step up from Apu's level in my eyes, which is funny because, that's like the second best level. It's just a testament to how good this one is. It's with Bart, again, the first time we have a returning playable character. It's a good choice, I think, just because he's always been at the centre of the narrative here, so playing as him again and causing a bit of mayhem feels good. He's fighting back against the aliens and Principal Skinner. But that's not what you're here for. You want to know about the hidden vehicle, don't you? Well, if you go down to the Squidport tourist area, go to the dock and look up at Planet Hollywood, you will see a big pink car wedged in the side of the wall. To get to it, just jump off the roof of Planet Hollywood and make your way round to said car. This, unlike the last two, is actually a reference to the show itself. In the episode My Sister, My Sitter, the Springfield gang go to the Squidport tourist area, just like I told you to do, and they see Hans Moleman in his car having crashed into the side of the Planet Hollywood building. Marge assumes it is merely a decorative piece, but it is not. There is an old man in there. Interestingly, on top of that, Moleman crashing his car into the area was meant to be a gag in level 3 the first time you go to this map, but it was taken out. Not before some leftover game files were created and found though, so that's cool. That's how we know about this now. It's unclear why it was removed, but personally speaking I would imagine it was to do with the fact that the car would later be drivable. I think it would have been fun to see the gag happen and then a few hours later, next time you go to the level, you'd get to drive the car. It would make me wonder what happened to Molman though. Is he just dead in the trunk? Maybe, I don't know. Level 7, the final level. This slightly compressed open area is now Halloween themed and we are once again playing as Homer, and if you have any semblance of taste, he has a donut for a head. We have a new little area in the form of the graveyard shortcut, but the power plant and upper middle class area is missing. Goodbye toffs. This game was rushed, so it's a miracle this level is any good at all, but it really is. I love it. The races, the missions, all of it. But as we reach the end of this video, you are most certainly looking forward to finding out some juicy information about the final hidden car. Well, on top of the Krusty Burger behind the Quickie Mart, you will find a small remote control car, which is a reference to absolutely nothing. Yep. It's a real shame to end the video like this. I don't know why, because, you know, there are so many Treehouse of Horror episodes, and I just feel like there was definitely a Treehouse of Horror themed car that they could have put in this level, since it's a Halloween level. But they didn't. Interestingly though, with this car, it shrinks Homer down to size to fit in it, because it is quite small, and this is the only vehicle that alters the character's size in any way. I guess that's something at least, but it's not nearly as cool as a real reference to The Simpsons though. But if you need your fix of extra Simpsons references from the Simpsons Hit and Run, be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be running down various different references to the show from this game, so it's worth sticking around and seeing that when it comes. But until then, that was it, the 7 hidden cars in the 7 levels of Hit and Run. Did you learn something in this video? If you did, that definitely deserves a like. What cars would you put in place of the ones that don't reference the show? Let me know down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Stay yellow, stay hidden, stay subscribed to me, and I will see you in the next one.